to kill the boss who owed them their salaries. The man sealed the ventilation duct with a balloon, then plugged the balloon's opening with a hose, with the other end of the duct leading to the boss's private bathroom. So the crime scene had to be there. To lure the boss into the trap, Nina would be the first person to enter the office. Under the camera, she pretended to use the water dispenser, then slipped into a blind spot to avoid the camera's view and slid a piece of paper into the gap of the bathroom door. Next, it was the janitor's turn to lure the boss. He simply inserted a roll of paper into the coffee machine's slot, then left the office. Coincidentally, the boss wanted to have some coffee. With the channel blocked, the coffee splattered onto his shirt, so he hurried to his private bathroom. He turned on the ventilation and the light before entering. As the bathroom door closed automatically, an employee used a special key that had been prepared earlier to lock the door from the outside. The boss was still unaware that he was in danger. The staff had previously checked his medication. They knew he suffered from asthma, and the way to trigger it was by creating a lot of carbon dioxide. Next, the woman turned off the exhaust fan. Another employee dropped a tumbler as a signal. Seeing that, the janitor turned on the vacuum cleaner. That sound became a signal for another colleague downstairs. The man backed away from his chair, deliberately placing himself in the camera's blind spot, then opened the fire extinguisher that had been previously connected. A burst of carbon dioxide flowed rapidly into the duct. At first, the boss didn't realize what it was, but he started to feel short of breath. He tried to open the door, but it was locked. With the very noisy vacuum cleaner running, the staff had an excuse not to hear him. The man who had opened the fire extinguisher sat back down in his chair. Earlier, two of his colleagues had chatted to thin air to make it seem as if the man had always been there. A few minutes later, the boss finally collapsed to the floor. After 5 minutes had passed, the man slipped past the camera again, turned off the fire extinguisher and disposed of it, then asked the security guard to erase all evidence. The woman once again pretended to use the dispenser, then took the key and used it as a hair clip. Under the camera, it was as if nothing had happened. In the end, another employee pretended to accidentally discover that the boss still hadn't come out. The staff opened the door together and called the police.
Sir, he's angry, guys.